There are some business practices that you might need to modify to be effective with telehealth. So just some basic business essentials. If you can send all your intake material and all your everything, all your forms, everything electronically through a secure system, it means that that is accessible to you much more easily. So if you quickly need to get your client's email address or phone number, it's right there instead of shuffling through paper. And once I switched over to electronic health records, I got so much more efficient with everything. So it really, really makes it a big difference to have everything in one place, securely and electronically. It's a really good idea to store a credit card if you're taking credit card payment, and here's why. Let's say you do a great session, and now you have to shift gears and talk about payment. That's awkward for a lot of people. The other thing is, it can take a lot of time. So I do 55-minute sessions. So I finish up at 55 minutes, and I say, okay, so we go through our scheduling the next appointment. We schedule, talk about homework. We do what we need to do. Okay, so I need your credit card number again. And the client goes, oh, okay, hang on, I'll go get my wallet. And they wander off, figure their wallet, and time's ticking. And I'm losing my time between sessions to finish up with this and to prepare for the next. So there's that. As a minimum, you need to at least know what you're going to be doing at the end of your session for payment. Okay, we don't do this for free. And while I'm on the subject, make sure your clients know your rate. So not everybody agrees with me on this, and that's fine. But on my website, my rates are published. I put it up there because I think we need to be as transparent as possible. It's part of informed consent. What am I paying for this service? I also, to cover that base, because not everybody looks at everything on a website, I also, as part of the client intake, I have people electronically sign that they understand what my rate is, what payment methods they can use, and what they need to do if they want to get a super bill because I don't take insurance. So that's really important. And I want you to think about how you as a consumer approach things. When you're going to pay, you always want to know and make sure you know accurately what you're going to be paying for goods or services. And I think we need to do that for clients. And it's especially important with telehealth because they're just going to sign off when they're done. We don't want to have to chase people for payment that they didn't know they were going to have to make. This is so important. Do not decrease your rates for telehealth. Charge what you charge. Telehealth is still therapy. You're still bringing all of the skills, all of the experience, all of the knowledge to the therapy session. Telehealth is not a discounted service. Now, if you want to discount your service for other reasons, you have a sliding scale for people to make it more accessible, you've worked out something with a client for a temporary while they have their job loss, or something like that, knock yourself out, do what you need to do, just like you did in your office, but do not decrease your rate just because you're working online. This is a valuable service, and therapists for too long have been apologetic about earning money for what we do. When you think about how hard you work to be the therapist you are, lots and lots of hours of schooling, of pre-licensed, just free work, of continuing to hone your skills. Do not discount what you do because you're doing it through a computer. That is I'll get off my soapbox now. So you want to make sure that your client understands everything. Just to wrap it up, they understand if you take insurance, what their copay is, what they need to do to make sure that insurance takes place. If there's pre-authorizations you need to get, all that stuff you would do, you're already doing it in your office. You probably don't need a lot of review on that. So informed consent, we're all very familiar with informed consent. And if you're not, please get familiar with informed consent. It's very, very important. But just, the overview of informed consent is we all know what we're getting into, right? When a client comes in, they know what therapy is going to be for, what it's going to be about, what they can expect, what the potential benefits and not so beneficial features are going to be. So we have to do that no matter what, right? We always have to do that. We have to assess, is this client that is presenting, is it therapy that they need? That's sort of the first thing we always need to assess, right? And then we have to assess, am I the therapist? If this client does need therapy, are my skills suited to this client's needs? And do I want to work with them? Is this somebody that I can do good work with? Even if you're sort of a generalist, there are going to be people that maybe you could help them, but you don't want to. That's okay. We are not going to be one size fits all. But with telehealth, we also have to assess, can this client do telehealth, right? Can this client regularly access a strong enough internet signal to do good telehealth with us? Can this client regularly have privacy to work with us in this way? Can this client regularly show up and be ready, right? And if they can't, it's in both the client best interest and it's the ethical thing to do to say, telehealth is not a fit for you. And what that might mean is that that person is going to have to access a different kind of service or wait until things settle down. So it's important that we make sure that we have informed consent protocol. Our clients have the equipment, have the access to internet, understand what they're getting into, and then that completes the informed consent. That's the add-on to what we would do in our offices.